black on black, and then there's some without the comma, and
But
they use
are
different
they
weapons.
are they
Did you say
issuing
some
them
without
all?
the comma?
Yeah, without the comma.
Like they have a semicolon?
No, the comma.
The comma.
That thing.
The
Comma,
dress?
comma,
Skirt.
chameleon?
Yeah.
It's called a
Oh,
comma.
that a comma is a piece of clothing.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Kilt.
Gotcha.
But it's not.
It's a skirt.
Hey, we're live.
Holy crap.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Breaking the Mold, episode 96. And as you can see, it's just me, Dom, and JD.
1, 2.
Yay! You used my
3.
gift.
Oh man. So yeah, Dave's got a conflict tonight, so that's 2 weeks now we haven't seen him. So hope you come back soon, Dave. And when you do, it'll be good to see you, man.
Miss you,
Yes.
buddy.
Yeah. And Gary, of course, as you know, has relocated, and he's in Florida. Is it sunny and warm and people playing volleyball in Florida, or is it
Brian.
winter there?
Tell the truth, Brian. We left them by the singing bush.
By the singing bush?
If you ever watch Three Amigos, you get the reference.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it. Is it on
Oh,
Disney
no?
Plus?
You better. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Disney made it though.
But no, Gary's at home, and he's got a house full of contractors, and he didn't want to leave his wife alone with them. So, so yeah, and but the thing is I don't think our other co-hosts have much faith in us, because all of a sudden it's like, hey, Alex wants to join the show. What? Alex is here. I'm like, so what's this? You just call out and we call Alex? Is that the thing?
Yeah, I'm the side piece.
Oh,
That's
Alex
my
is the
job
side
here.
piece.
Right.
Alex, I'm glad. I was hoping that we wouldn't be able to hear you because you have a big straw in your mouth. It's because of how thirsty you were to be on the show.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Wow.
And then we hear from another co-host is like, oh, well, in case you guys need help, we're just gonna go ahead and look who's back. It's the Salvage Dragoon.
Listen, you people. I need to openly apologize to everybody that suffered through that nonsense last week. Why didn't you just tell me to go to bed? That sounded like two barn owls fighting over a piece of bacon. It was awful. But now we're in the world famous Crashbox studio. So we're back at full power. What's up, party people?
So did you leave those headphones there? Leave them in the drawer for next time?
No, those are my Bluetooth headphones. I just use, on an airplane or whatever. I just have them. I just keep them in my work bag, and I just happen to have them. Like, oh, it sounds fine. It sounds. Oh, y'all are. I'm never trusting y'all again.
What's that?
I have a level of quality to maintain in this content I produce. No, I have a tainted mark. No, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I figured you'd have to have you on to redeem yourself from last weekend.
Yeah, I think 9 hours of podcasting is enough. So let's load them up.
Yeah. So let's formally get this started and play the lovely intro to get us all pumped and excited. We need Dust to give us some of those extra ones. I like that other one he has too.
You want some sauce on it?
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
For sure. So how you guys doing? It's been a week. Nothing much has changed for me. I got to hang out with Chris, and I bought a junior reader, which is very, very informative. This Ray survival guide, I must say.
Brian,
pick it up, $2.50.
Sometimes.
And you know what else, Chris? I did that place of it. What was the name of it again? Fourth and something? Second and...
Third and Jonesy.
Right.
No, second and Charles.
They put the price tag on this thing in September of 2018. That's how long this book was sitting on that shelf. Just waiting for somebody.
Wow.
It's waiting on you, Brian.
Waiting on you.
Waiting on the right grown ass man to buy this children's book for himself and brag about it.
Hmm. What about the rest of you? How was your week?
Pretty
Dom?
good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep.
It was
Very relaxed week, I would say.
Yeah.
Nothing really out of the ordinary this weekend. Just driving around, enjoying the weekend, enjoying the weather.
Did you do a lot of just driving around, Dom?
Yeah, I just had
for a
to go drop some things off, do some errands, and I did a little toy hunting here and there. So in between.
So casual.
Yes.
Did you pick up anything?
between my appointments, I worked at a little toy shop.
Did you find anything good?
Nah. Just the old commons, and I was trying to keep my eye out on specific TMNT figures that Mr. JD Brocious is opening up as we speak right now.
Mm.
So
Did you finish that hot dog yet?
I did finish my hot dog. Thank you, Brian.
All right.
Brian,
Oh, you wanted a bite? I'm sorry.
I am
He
kind of jonesing for a hot dog again.
you just wanted to get the mustard off.
Yeah.
Did you like the corn dog? I heard Chris said he introduced you to a corn dog, or was that somebody else?
Well, it was a Sonic corn dog, but I've had corn dogs before.
Okay, good.
At the hot dog on a stick at the Bridgewater
Yep.
Commons Mall. That was like my first one.
Oh, where they actually like battered them and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was always awesome.
Oh yes, a young co-ed putting a skewered hot dog into batter and then putting it into a vat of hot oil.
You had me on co-ed.
Yeah, and you had me on batter, so
how did the
Basement
co-ed
done.
get thrown in there? That's the interesting part.
have you not met this man?
Oh yeah, hot dog on a stick.
Co-ed hot dog on a stick.
JD, how you doing? Savior of many Wookiees.
I'm good. I
Yeah.
saved lots of Wookiees last night.
Oh, did you now?
I did.
Is that code for something?
No.
Yes.
I mean, it could be, I guess. I don't know.
Like save them from what? From knotted hair? Like
No, imperial imprisonment.
oh,
What about? Did you save him from empanadas?
Mm.
That kind of sounded like imperial.
Imperial. Yeah, no.
Impenereal disease.
Yes,
It's when you eat too many
Empanadas.
empirical empanadas.
Uh-huh.
Okay. This is
No,
what you get.
I've been playing the shit out of this Jedi Fallen Order game, and it's
I didn't even really know that had been released
yeah, it came out Friday.
because I didn't hear that much about it. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not a big gamer, so I'm not plugged in.
I was very excited for a new Star Wars game and was hoping that it would be, because Battlefront was okay.
You wanted it to be more Star Warsy, don't you?
Well, it just story and characters and
You want more
I
of
wanted
an unleash kind of feel.
yes, and this has surpassed that.
do you
Awesome, buddy.
do you use lightsabers?
Absolutely.
Do they have John Williams soundtracks?
Actually, I don't know. It's there are little cues of the the original John Williams score in it, but it's a completely new orchestrated score for the game.
Now, Fallen Jedi, you called it, right?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order. So is it like after First Order falls, or is it like regular Empire?
It's not. It's
Rebellion
not in
stuff?
order.
Yeah, it's not in order. It
That
takes
was-
place. It
that
takes
was-
place like 5 years after the Clone Wars. after
Oh.
Order 66 has been executed.
Order 66.
Yes, and you play a Padawan who has gone into hiding after his master was killed.
Oh, like that dude. The guy that lost his eyes.
Oh,
Shit.
Kanan? Yeah.
Yeah.
Kanan Jarrus.
Yep.
Sweet.
Except Kanan was a little further because throughout the game you are remembering your training. You've kind of lost your connection with the Force, and you not to get too spoiler-y, but you gain your Force powers throughout the game.
So.
But the main combat is lightsaber stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, so I got a question then. 5 years after Clone Wars, then are the Imperial troops, are they like stormtrooper type stuff? Did they
Yes.
already switch, or are they
Yep.
still? All right, cool.
Yeah, so it might be a little bit more like 7 years or something after Order 66.
All right, cool. All right, Alex, what's new?
Not too much, man. Not too much. I was sick all weekend, so I binged a whole bunch of Disney Plus stuff.
Oh yeah.
What?
Was it like the coming out your mouth sick or coming out the behind sick?
No, it was neither of those. It was just a constant cough and
was the
having a headache and feeling awful.
Coming out the closet.
Nothing was coming out. It was just it's all staying in.
I like your two options of sick, Brian.
Right.
Coming out the mouth.
I feel like all those are drinking related.
Well, I
like-
mean, according to Bobby Skullface, you're allowed to eat soup when you're sick. So did
But
you
no,
eat any good soup?
No, I didn't eat anything. There was a lot of sleeping, and the only thing I really intook was NyQuil and cough drops.
Oh, that's NyQuil's are saviors.
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
Sounds like a Saturday night to me.
it was pretty good. Felt like Elvis, because that's what he drank.
Are you particular about your cough drops? I'm particular about my cough drops.
No,
Yes, he
I don't.
is.
I mean, like if I'm sick, I don't really care as long as it doesn't make me cough anymore.
All right, so I stay away from the mentholated cough drops.
Are they too strong?
No, they actually dry out your throat more. So I go for the ones that have pectin in them.
See, like I don't know, I'm pretty old school, so like anything with honey, because like
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what my mother would make whenever I'm sick.
coats your throat.
Yes, so like it'd be like tea with a lot of honey in it.
Yep. Tea that's the real savior right there. Tea
Right.
and honey. Mm-hmm.
With some lemon in it. Yes.
Yep.
I
So
was
it's pretty uneventful for me.
all right. Well, this one time
I
I
banned-
was not sick. I was sick, and I went out anyway. My friends were like, "Come hang out." I'm like, "I'm fucking all right." So I basically went through an entire bag of cough drops, and the next day, my voice was completely gone. And so now I don't know if I blame my voice being gone and being sick, because I've never completely lost my voice before that, but I think I blame it on having like 15 mentholated cough drops in the single night.
That's why you never want to have them again.
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen with 15 mentholated cigarettes. I lost my voice. And I smoked them in my sleep, which is the weirdest thing.
Smoked them in your sleep.
You ever woke up and your mouth tastes like Florida? Newports and alligator shit.
Oh. All right, Chris, what's new with you? Anything?
Oh, a lot's changed in the past 24 hours. I've become a new man. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, it's good. Last week was good. I got to see Brian. I got to eat meat with Brian. I got to get ran out of Books A Million or Barnes and Noble with Brian.
That's right.
Hey, you can't come up here. We're closing.
It's like we're like, yeah, 1 second. They like just closed. They're like, well, we're closed. I'm like,
People were chasing us around. You gotta leave.
I want to.
What's with like taking pride in the corporation that you work for, and hey, this is an extra sale for my company.
Listen, they just want to go to the bar. That's all it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
But I will say, in most of my experiences, Barnes and Nobles are normally open like later than 9 o'clock. So that I thought that was odd, and that's why I didn't hesitate to go in there because most of the time they're open until like 10 or 11. But maybe the economy's just trash and nobody buys books at a bookstore anyway. So how are they in business? Grandmas? Is that how they're in business? I got
It's
you
the
some
coffee.
books for Easter.
It's the coffee.
I mean, that's a
what-
lot of
yeah,
fucking square feet.
It's
So
the
that's what it is
Starbucks
for
that's
some
in the
coffee.
store.
Shit. This one was 2 stories. Let's see. Yeah. I was in Baltimore City today for work, which is always a harrowing experience. I actually ran in a GameStop that had nothing of interest and a Walmart that had probably the best dark toy aisle I've seen in a long time, and they had like pallets and pallets they hadn't put out yet. So it looks like we might be able to find some stuff this holiday season, boys.
Not a lot of scalpers hanging out in Baltimore City.
I mean,
Yeah,
now at this Walmart. So this Walmart has 2 trailers in the parking lot with cameras on them, solar powered police things like.
Oh
so-
yeah, we got those.
Yeah, and everything's locked up. Like the shampoo was under lock and key. They had to call somebody to come unlock the shampoo case.
I got some Head and Shoulders.
Really?
Excuse me.
What are you doing buying shampoo, Chris?
I wasn't. I just looked down the aisle because this guy was aggravated, jabbing at the button for somebody to come help. And they had a checkout. They had a checkout in cosmetics. I guess that was just to keep an employee right there so people wouldn't steal. Like they had all the razors and stuff. I don't know. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Chris, I saw you cleaned your room this weekend.
Oh, my workshop.
Yeah.
So yes, I was about to have a breakdown after these last couple of projects I just finished. So I took like basically Sunday and just threw away a bunch of shit and reorganized my paint and realized that I have way too much paint and I'm a hoarder because those 50-cent bottles of paint will be like a quarter paint still in them, and I can't throw this away. I'll need this color. I have seven shades of red. That are probably all the same, but yeah, I've got some production run basically I've got to do, so I needed to kind of organize everything so I can get ready to do that.
Well, I thought it was funny that you went and did that, then posted a picture on social media because, I was like, as a kid, like if without cleaning my room, without being told to clean my room, and I clean it, I'd go grab my parents, like, hey, look at this, look how clean it is.
My
And
daughter
everything's organized.
My daughter said just a few minutes ago, "Are you proud that I did my homework without you having to remind me?" Not really. Also, your math is dumb. She's not dumb, just the way they teach math now is moronic. Draw all 25 of the circles and then count them.
Where the fuck does the box come in?
Yeah. Who's this guy? Why is he here? Oh, he just comes over when you do math. What? What? Y'all got any potato salad?
What?
Dude, it's just so funny how they do math now.
Oh, it's awful. It's a struggle for sure. So. Anywho.
Yeah, I tell you, when I was at your house, last time I was at your house, Kelly's like, yeah, Kennedy's got this math problem. I was like, oh, hey, look, I'm spreadsheet man. Dude, I'm not doing math on no paper.
Well, she brought a worksheet in the living room while we were eating tonight that had these insane word problems on it. She's like, can you help me with these? I said, not till after dinner. And I guess she did it. So
yeah, and it was kind of nuts. And then it kind of finally jied, and it was long division. And I'm just like, and it was one of those ones where you have to divide the bigger number into the smaller number. It's like, come on. What? Who's gonna do? Why?
Brian, you're not always gonna have a calculator with you. Oh wait.
Oh,
And then we had to it's like, oh yeah, that's right. You moved the decimal points or something. And it was funny. We figured it out in a calculator first. I'm like, oh, that must be how you do it on paper.
And then you backwards engineered the problem. Is that what you did? We ran it back. It was successful.
Oh.
But what if they change school to that? Like you always have your cell phone. Like, what's the sense of learning anything then? Because you could just Google it if you need to know.
I mean, it's the God's honest truth,
right?
But it teaches critical thinking.
That's true.
I mean, do you even need street smarts if no one's on the street anymore? I don't know.
Oh, trust me. I was in Baltimore today. They're still there. They're still in the streets, no matter how many legs they have or don't. One guy's name was Wheelchair Jimmy, but he didn't have a wheelchair. I didn't ask any questions. Yeah,
Did he have the Jimmy legs?
that may have been what he was. He was laying in the ditch. So. The funny thing is, you don't know if I'm lying or not, so we'll just roll with it. Yeah,
Oh man.
yeah.
All right, guys. So it's been 1 week. It's been 7 days since November 12th when Disney Plus came out,
Lusky.
and I just been wondering what you binge watching.
You've been watching.
That's funny, man. Did you come up with that?
No,
Okay, cool.
thanks.
Actually, you did on accident.
Hey, Mom, come
give
look
it
at
to
my
you.
room. It's
Come-
all clean.
Look at my room. I made a joke. Oh man.
So has anyone gone in deep? And like plus and thrust. Shout out to Dust.
I didn't.
No?
I don't know that. I missed.
I did watch the live action Lady and the Tramp. I have to admit that I did watch that.
Was it any good?
I totally forgot what I seen Lady and Tramp back in the day. I couldn't remember the story, and when I was watching, I'm like, "This is what's happened."
Were they real dogs or were they like animated
real
dogs?
No, real dogs. A little animation here and there with regards to what they were doing, and then like obviously the faces and the eyes were animated, but in some scenes. So, but it plays with the real dogs and all that stuff, and it's an interesting. It brings back I only remember the highlights, like obviously the pizzeria scene and all that stuff, but
What happened in that scene?
Well, the lady got the meatball.
It's actually lady
got the meatball,
right? Trans.
So
But
I gotta ask. So I didn't watch it, but I clicked on it and I saw the picture of Tramp and Lady, right?
Mhm.
And that Tramp dog is like in the cartoon. Like I imagined him being like a James Dean type character, like a cool dude from across the street, blah blah blah, smoking on the corner type stuff. But I'm looking at this Tramp dog thing, and I was like, this is just like some scruffy looking bum looking guy. Like, was that what your take was, Dom? I'm just kind of
yeah, that's pretty much what they play him as.
Why would this prissy
a
dog
loner.
even think he's attractive? I don't get it.
I don't think he was looking for where the story plays out. He doesn't think he was looking for love. He was more of a I'm a loner. This is how I survive type of feel. And then then the love interest came and comes in the story and hits him in the face with it.
Well, for dogs, it's just how the butt smells, though, right? They don't look at how they look; they just smell their butt.
Exactly. There was they didn't portray that type of greeting at all.
Oh no! Because wasn't it in the original? Wasn't Tramp? Didn't he didn't he see her or something and she was lost or something? And he's like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?"
He does see her and comes to her savior.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotta change it up all the day.
But I couldn't I remember there were the Siamese cats came in.
The dog. It's terrible.
Yeah, but it was a good throwback to watching it. But I couldn't even remember what it was. And when I saw it for the live action, I kind of had to take verbatim of how the story played out there because I couldn't remember the ending of the first one, the animated series. So, but it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it, but watched it with family. That's why I was together with a couple. Well, my brother-in-law, my sister, my wife, and my nieces, and we all watched it. So,
great. Did you guys make spaghetti?
Actually, we did.
They shared the noodles and everything.
We made pasta and raviolis, homemade too.
It was just one big noodle, though.
Yes, it was one big noodle.
Dom was the Tramp.
I'm always the Tramp, never the lady.
Lady,
Actually, that might work out better if you were the lady.
That's where you had to go with the JD.
I know. Went the wrong way.
Sorry.
All right.
The name Tramp sounds better. That's all.
But I also been watching like the X-Men animated series. I've been watching all those old cartoons and stuff like that.
So like a lot of them, or what's the deal?
Yeah, I went through the first season of
Holy
X-Men.
shit.
So
all right.
I've
Now,
been watching that.
Were you upset that they're out of order? I heard they're out of order.
I wouldn't even be able to tell you, Brian.
No.
I've just been
You're
Click.
out of order.
Yeah, like I've been clicking on them, watching them, then passing out, and then kind of rolling back to where I ended, or what I can remember from the night before, and where I left off, kind of thing. So,
All right.
but they've been pretty cool. I've definitely don't remember a lot of them that I saw from my childhood. So I enjoyed the show back in the day. So, but like couldn't remember any of those episodes when I re-saw them. So they were all brand new to me. I guess it was all the brain cells that I killed over college and stuff like that.
So besides the Mandalorian, has anybody else been using this service for catching up on stuff?
I ain't caught up on shit, but I watched that Jeff Goldblum show, both episodes of it, and some random ass thing about this how dogs became the sizes they are. And
did they used to be huge or did they used to be small?
So they all were wolves.
Oh.
So all dogs are the same species, from a greyhound to a chihuahua. Yeah, so it just talks about how they were bred different ways, and it turns out little bitty dogs were bred for royalty to keep their hands and feet warm.
And rodent control.
It was very cold in those mythic castles, I guess. They didn't have H, V, A, or C. Matthew Deluxe Baldwin could not come install for free.
So they bred small dogs to keep hands and feet warm. Now, was that so? Like when they skinned them, they made the perfect size shoes and gloves, or did they?
Wow, that's horrible.
Did they stick appendages up things where they're not supposed to go, or
it's like a puppet, Brian?
Yes, like a puppet.
No, Brian.
Yeah, they just reach in and pull it inside out, and then they put it in the laundry.
Oh wow! So you got to kind of get the fleece on the inside. Then it's kind of nice.
Jesus, I was at Walmart today, and that's some really nice new fleece pants, like warm, super looking pants. I'm gonna have to go get me a pair. Totally unrelated.
All right, so basically, like that's what lap dog comes from, I guess. They just keep a dog in their lap and they put their hands on it when they're cold.
I suppose.
Oh, no wonder.
I would probably say that's more the toy dog, because like terriers, people carried terriers around and stuff, but those were they were bred for like rodent control, groundhogs and rabbits and mice and rats. They were bred to hunt down small rodents and shit, moles. But like Boston Terriers and pugs, and they're all part of that sort of thing, the same sort of thing, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
And
here I was thinking that cats eat mice.
Well, that's the cliche. They do.
Yeah.
I don't know how many cats, but our dogs eat mice. I think they play with them to death. It's more how the dogs do it. Because you find them and they're like perfectly groomed, but they're all like slobbered. It's like, oh, okay. They're not like crushed or anything. They're laying there all peaceful, sleeping.
I'll just pet them and nice them and be.
Exactly.
George.
Well, JD, I have a feeling if I was to pass out on the floor of your home, your dogs would just come up and lick me all night.
Probably. They'd probably lay down with you, actually. Oh. They might start off licking you, or they might just lay down and go to sleep with you and keep you warm. And then when you wake up, they'll attack you. Like, all right. They'll lick you to death.
Well, I'll be seeing you in about a week's time, so I guess.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
What's the name of this event, by the way? It's an event now.
Is it?
Is it? Is it on Facebook?
Oh, we gotta make Facebook for it and everything.
No, I don't think you have to do that. You can call it whatever the fuck you want to.
Oh. I can
Realms Giving.
Yeah. Turkey Day at the, I don't know, whatever. Call it whatever we want. Give it a name.
Give it the name.
Give it a name.
You know what? I gotta ask though.
It's a mythic.
You're gonna have a Mythics giving.
I mean, it most certainly can be.
All right, that'll be fun.
If you want to eat meat off the bone with your hands, bring your own malt. You're good.
Oh, all right, let's do it.
Yep.
Let's do
So
it.
if you're gonna be slobbering and dropping food everywhere, I just do it outside.
All right. JD, have you been binge watching any Disney princess movies, anything like that?
No, we watched Willow the other night.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm out. I'm gonna go watch that right now.
Shit's so good.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we watched a couple other movies because it's like one of those things where we throw it on and then we actually fall asleep watching stuff. This past week, I've been like, I'll play that game until I start getting tired, which will be like 9 a.m. And then I throw on.
Just hit him, Alex, for me. Just hit him.
All right.
Playing video games until 9 a.m. Motherfucker.
It's life. It's life.
Yeah, I guess.
So jealous.
All right.
But I've been watching. What the fuck is it called? Resistance. The Star Wars Resistance.
Oh, how's that?
How's
That's
that?
That's for little kids, right?
Yeah.
It might as well be. Yeah. It's okay. It's not anything like. Oh, it's not like Rebels or Clone Wars where you're getting any sort of fucking story out of it. It's I don't know.
Does it have like Poe and Finn in there?
Just so far in the series, all I've seen was Poe, BB-8, and the episode I fell asleep to last night had Leia in it.
Oh, all right.
But all the other characters are, I don't know who
I
the
saw
fuck they are.
I saw the first episode and didn't intrigue me to watch the next one.
Yeah.
But
It's
always something. It's always something that I want to follow up on.
The main kid, he's a fucking idiot.
He sounded and looked
it was like
in the first episode.
Every episode he gets a fucking job to do and he fucks it up. He completely fucks it up. He's a fucking idiot.
That's why I don't want the Resistance to win. They're just terrible. Welcome. Oh, how about you, Alex? What have you been watching?
Well, since I was in and out of NyQuil coma, it's been a lot of stuff. But I didn't watch full movies at all.
Oh.
I get 30 minutes in, fall asleep. So I started with stuff that I had already seen, so Age of Ultron and a bunch of the Avengers movies, and then I tried. It's called Hulk Agents of Smash, and it's the whole Hulk family.
Oh.
So it's Green Hulk and Red Hulk and A-Bomb and She-Hulk. It's pretty ridiculous.
Agents of Smash.
Agents of Smash. It's a little kid show, but
you think?
It's for an adult audience at certain points. Not at all, but I want to tell myself that because I watched 9 episodes in a row. It was probably the NyQuil making it so entertaining, though.
This is quite possible.
Smash. Let's check that out. I'm writing this
more
down.
like Agents of Trash.
But he's kind of like Smart Hulk in it, so it's pretty good because there's no Bruce Banner, and he's trying to lead the team of Hulks and keep them all in line. And all they want to do is break shit, so he's got to try to keep them on the straight and narrow, but all he wants to really do is break shit. So it's pretty good.
All right.
I'll have to make a mental note to check that out.
Yeah.
It's like giving the Tasmanian Devil his own show.
Right. It's bad when a Hulk is a level-headed one on your team.
We took a whole cow and dropped it into a construction dumpster full of piranhas. The key to your car is inside the cow. You have 30 seconds. That's intriguing.
I'd watch that.
Fucking Hulk cartoon.
But I got on a Star Wars kick after Mandalorian, and I've never been a Star Wars person, so I started Clone Wars a bit.
That's where you picked to start.
Right. So the Clone Wars cartoon. I mean,
Have you seen all the Star Wars movies?
I watched them all in my NyQuil coma.
Oh boy, this is probably good.
They all kind of blend together a little bit.
So when
Yeah.
the little green guy was with
I
the big
remember
furry
watching them
fellas.
years ago, but this is the most recent time I watched them all. It was over the weekend.
I watched episode 2 today. Actually,
Did
I
you?
didn't get all the way through it, but
Mm.
I wanted to do a little Camino research.
So, well, I mean, I think that's a good segue. Personally, for me, I just been watching Marvel movies, basically anything with Captain America in it, and it turns out I think those are the only ones you need to watch if you need to know how the whole thing goes.
Yep.
But
pretty much.
yeah. So the Mandalorian.
I've heard
Chris,
about it.
you haven't finished episode 2 yet, is that right?
I have seen both episodes 3 times, my good sir.
Okay. All right then. So, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna talk spoilers. It's only a half hour, so if you haven't seen it, I mean, go watch it now and then come back and you'll be fine.
Screw you, live audience.
Yeah.
But
We
I mean,
don't
come on.
need you.
30 minutes, you could find time to watch that between Friday and now. So, just saying.
Precisely.
So hey, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about not binging it and doing it week to week?
It's made me watch. It's made me watch it more. Like I probably will watch it again this week again before the 3rd episode.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I've been every episode that comes out, I rewatch the older episodes and then go into the the third one, or the new one.
You know, that's actually how you memorize stuff. Like I don't know how you guys memorize stuff when you're in school, but like when I had to memorize vocabulary words, you start at the top, one, do the next word, and then you go back to do the
top,
word
yep.
on top of that, and then you keep going, and it's kind of like doing suicides when you're in the gym.
Mhm.
Yeah. So maybe that's a good way of retaining information as well when you binge watch. God, imagine binge watching it that way. That would be nuts.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I've been trying to get to the Marvel movies for 7 years. You mean times I've seen Thor: The Dark World? It's unfathomable. I've seen it more times than the amount of tickets that they sold at the box office, which was 12. That's just the one movie I pick on because it's like the one that's kind of an oddball.
Yeah. What about the rest of you guys? Are you guys just wish you had another one to go, or are you okay? You okay with waiting?
I don't. I like the waiting. I like being able to appreciate the episode and not just going on to the next one.
Yep.
I feel like I don't appreciate things if I just watch the whole season at once. It just becomes a blur.
Where I have more time to digest it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Especially it being, and listen, this is kind of a new, I guess Game of Thrones was kind of, I mean, I didn't watch that, but it came out episodically, correct? So you hear that big word, guys? Yeah.
Look at you. Look at the big brain on you.
Thank you. Let me straighten my head out there. So for me, I mean, I didn't watch Game of Thrones, and very rarely do I watch anything, that's I have to wait on to come on TV or whatever. But I think it being available a week at a time, but at the same time, it's constantly available after it's available. I think it's really going to make it interesting to see how we feel about this after 8 episodes, and wonder if this platform, the way they're presenting it, is going to work, because we might be but in episode 2, the Jawas had red eyes, and just lose our mind about a whole bunch of shit because we watched it so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
You think those Jawas were high? That's why they had the red eyes?
I think the Jawas were awesome. I almost thought through those little shits today, but I was like, you know what? Patience saves pockets. New shirt available at teespring.com/realm of collectors. But yeah, I think I'm going to wait that out. I think those may go on clearance. The Jawas.
The off-world ones?
Yeah.
The Off-World, yeah.
Yeah, they're on sale at BBTS, I think, right now.
Already.
Realm of Enablers. Here we go.
I think they're like $6 on there. I'm not sure though, but I think that was one of their.
I know the originals. I think the original one that released are cheap too. They're going on sale.
But like, so the weird thing is I hate Ewoks, but I love Jawas, and they're both kind of like small, ridiculous characters. But something about the Jawa language and them taking stuff apart.
The Jawas aren't little bears.
Actually, the off-world ones are sold out on BBTS.
Damn, Alex, that was fast. Put the word out there real quick. It's gone.
Clout. See?
It's like 3, 2, 1. Sold out. All right, good.
How do you guys feel about 30 minutes or just a little bit more?
I mean, I wish they were longer episodes. I also kind of wish it wasn't episodic. I wish I could binge it, but like like everyone else here said, it makes me appreciate it a little bit more. I can't just bam, 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 bam all the way through it and be done. You know what I mean? And I've gone through and we throw it on every now and again like that. And those first 2 days or the first like 3 days, we probably watched it at least once each day until the second episode came out. But yeah, I wish the episodes were a little bit longer just to give us a little bit more. But I mean, they got to keep us on that cliffhanger sort of thing, They gotta keep that going.
My prediction is they're just going to tell the story they need to tell, and if it's 30 minutes, it's 30 minutes. If it's 50, it's 50.
That's how HBO does things.
Yeah, I mean, even like FX does that with their kind of more adult-driven stuff.
When you guys, when I'm watching episodic television, which the last time I did so was
Friends.
No, it was Game of Thrones.
Golden Girls. Oh.
Like during that watch session, I would make sure it's like, all right, I am not getting up from this TV and I am not looking at the clock. I'm not gonna pause it because I don't want to see how much time is left, kind of thing. I just kind of want to get wrapped up in it. Do you guys do that too?
Yeah, I've been doing that, Brian. Like I find like I try not even to look at how long the episode is. I'll hit play and just let it play out and see where it ends.
Because I remember watching Game of Thrones. Of course, it was a little bit longer. Like, oh my god, it's gonna end right here, and sometimes it doesn't, right? And you get that little extra. I kind of like doing that when I watch TV that way.
Wow, you really analyzed the shit out of this, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
sounds like a lot of anxiety.
I just literally throw it on and oh, hold on, I gotta take a shit. I'll be back, and then I'll.
Well, there's this one time,
or we'll just blast all the way through it.
There's this one time where it's like, oh shit, it's like I gotta pee, I can't hold it, and I would basically pick up the remote, close my eyes, and like pause the TV and leave the room without looking at where it was on the screen, where the counter was.
You just have to do some prep work, Brian. You gotta watch your intake.
Yeah, and then then coming back into the room was really tricky because like, all right, I'd keep the remote with me, and I was like, all right, don't look at the TV, press play, and then you gotta wait a second for the counter to disappear. This is me. This is me in my life watching TV.
So let me ask you guys a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who is excited? Okay, let me ask you this way. Prior to last week, who is excited about episode 9? Legitimately excited about it.
I was.
I mean, I'm excited about it.
Alex, you don't even like Star Wars.
So Rogue One was the first Star Wars movie I legitimately liked.
It was very good.
And then Force Awakens I liked. And then Last Jedi I loved.
Then you win. So
right. So like this trilogy that they're doing now is the one that I latched on to.
How old are you?
I'm 33.
Wow, you're like what little kids are to Star Wars.
So like it's the weird thing that like Star Wars and I have always been at the wrong ages.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like what was the first one? Phantom Menace came out and I was like 14. And I was doing something else. I wasn't really interested in it. And like
you were learning about girls and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then like the original trilogy, I had missed that window for it to be cool. Because I watched it as whenever I was like 10 or 11, and I was like, this looks old and crappy. And like, this guy's just whining all the time, So it was. Luke Skywalker drove me nuts as a kid.
I only got a touch station to get some power.
Oh man, that's interesting. That's an interesting take on that. I hadn't thought about that.
So I'm a prequel guy. I mean, I love the prequels. Actually, I love 2 and 3. I can tolerate 1, but I mean, that's kind of how that's how I kind of came to Star Wars was through the prequels. I think I saw episode episode. Return of the Jedi. I think my dad took me to the theater, but I had no remembrance of ever seeing the other two until I think it was probably special editions when I first really saw them. I don't know. And my friend, didn't have friends. I remember going to this one kid's house. I was actually a couple years younger than me. I was over there because I was working on some school project with his sister, and he had the Millennium Falcon, and I'd never seen the toy, and I just like, oh, that's a cool toy. I didn't really know what it was, but I just remember thinking it was cool. I don't know. That's very strange that I just, as much time as I spent in toy aisles, I had no like interest in the Star Wars shit. I didn't know what it was, I guess.
So Chris, this was obviously a leading question. JD is excited. Alex is excited.
Oh yeah. So here's thanks for following me back up there. So my question is, after this, taste of sweaty Mandalorian flesh, are you more excited for episode 9, less excited, or indifferent? As indifferent as you were before?
My excitement for episode 9 hasn't changed because of Mandalorian. I think I'm more excited. Like, I'm not saying I'm more excited to see where Mandalorian goes, but I'm just
What happened?
Did I freeze or did you freeze?
It's like we're all frozen.
Nope.
Frozen.
Frozen.
Great spot for him to freeze too.
See, you shouldn't talk bad about episode 9. So I will. Oh yeah, no, I'm not really that excited. And I tell you what, the Mandalorian's got me more excited for. It's got me more excited for fucking Friday. Is what the Mandalorian's got me more excited for.
So what time does it drop on Friday? JD, who's up early or late or whatever?
Fuck, I don't know. I'm gonna guess it's like 6 a.m.
It's not midnight.
No.
See, that would be a whole thing. We could like.
So the actual streaming service went live at like 4:30 in the morning. It actually went up early, and anybody that was up, you know what I mean, I woke her up at like 5. I was like, it's on. We gotta do this. So, and then the episode, it was probably right around the same time. Might have been like 5, 6 a.m.
Okay. Because I'm gonna try to watch it Friday morning early. I have work stuff that morning, but I'll get up early beforehand.
Yeah. There you go, Josh.
Because kind of just like Game of Thrones, right? I mean, obviously Sunday night's a little bit easier, but like on Friday, if it's dropping at 6 a.m., I'm finding myself like, okay, no social media on Friday. Not till I watch this damn show.
That's why I want to watch it, because I mean, I remember the days where you had to watch The Walking Dead every freaking week because there's 12 ones. I can't believe they killed Kenny. You bastards. Or whatever, Dom, you finish your thought.
Yeah, I cut it. I the thing is that I'm excited to watch episode 9, but my excitement was more towards the Mandalorian when it was being pushed out. So watching the Mandalorian hasn't increased my excitement for episode 9 for some reason. I don't know why, but I just definitely gonna watch it. I got first, I'm watching it when it comes out. I'm gonna be there that weekend. I'm not gonna, I'm not fully invested in that storyline in regards to where it goes. I'll enjoy it for what it is, but I'm not. But you buy the toys. I'll buy the toys, but
So I'll say that. I mean, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying I'm more excited, but I'm more excited for more content.
Exactly. Yeah.
More. Yeah.
I'll be excited to see where they take it after episode 9. I would like to see what's coming up next. That's what I'm more excited for. Granted, the Skywalker story was the story that we all grew up with, and to see it end in a good way, it would be great. I hope that's out there, and I'm going to enjoy episode 9 the way I enjoyed. What other Granted, yeah, I was an episode 4, 5, 6 baby. Like I enjoyed the original trilogy. I also enjoyed the prequels. Like I enjoyed them very much. I knew, some of the criticism and how weak they were in regards to character builds and stuff like that. But other than that, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed what George did with it, and
George.
now with episode 7, 7, 8, and 9. I enjoyed Force Awakens. The last night, granted, I had my indifferences with regards to where they took Luke, but
Last night was a Transformers movie.
That was a Transformers movie.
oh, sorry, The Last Jedi. Sorry, Last
I was like,
Jedi.
I know that story was all over the place. But Luke Skywalker was in it.
It
There
probably
was
was.
lightsabers in that Transformers movie.
Oh, there is.
But and I'm not the one that's going to shit all over what they did, and at the end of the day, I love Star Wars for what it is and the world that it contains and where they can go with it. So I'm more excited in seeing what they do, where the next steps are going to be, whether it's going to be some like a prequel type thing of the old Republic, or are they going to go like out in the distant, the far future in regards to where Luke and Rey are all distant history, like long history and shit like that. So I don't know where they're going to take it.
Here's my 2 cents on what's going to happen. They're going to do an unrelated trilogy.
Hmm.
I think they may do 2 unrelated trilogies, and then when these people that people aren't super attached to, like Finn and Luke and Rey, Finn and Poe and Rey, sorry, they're gonna roll them back out for, hey, we're still here.
Yeah, I
Like,
can imagine that.
You want some Colt 45? Oh wait, wrong guy.
That was yep.
And then their like kids kill them while they're standing on a bridge or something, and
Right. Or another kids like run over them while talking on their cell phones or something.
That's right. But yeah, I tell you, I saw pics of that C-3PO figure that's coming out. He's got a little friend that sits on his shoulder, and he's got Chewie's band. Dude, if they have C-3PO moving around
Combat,
like IG-11, I'm gonna be like, fuck this. This is fucking dumb. I hope he's just a caddy for Chewie in this movie, just carrying his shit for him. Like, I don't know.
All of a sudden, he's voiced by Bill Murray.
Yeah.
No, that little, like, apparently that little guy that comes with him is some sort of master droid reprogrammer or something.
Oh, he's the master code breaker.
Yeah,
Does he have a red palm bloom on his lapel?
He just might.
Red palm bloom.
Yeah, let's go
Why can't
save.
you just say red flower? No.
And what's her name? And what the fuck was she doing in that video? The old lady,
The goggle lady.
What the hell? What is she doing? Why is she fighting some resistance?
She said it was some sort of union dispute, right?
Whose side is she on?
Exactly.
What union? What the fuck?
Yeah.
She's
Have you not seen a
goddamn
video
bar.
Describing the guy that they're supposed to be looking for, getting all turned on and shit while she's in the middle of a fucking battle.
God, that was
Like,
so
what
bad.
the fuck is this?
I mean, that's like answering your phone when you're taking a shit. What are you doing? Taking a shit?
And Poe's talking to her like he fucking knows her. I'm like, you don't fucking know her. Shut up, dude. It's like, what the hell?
Hey, you don't know me, but I was flying one of those X-Wings that fucked your shit up. Tell me some shit.
Oh man. Oh, anyway. Back
So
to the
I'm excited for episode 9, just the same as I was. I mean, it's bringing that storyline to a closing.
But are you kind of like?
second.
Are you kind of like excited for it to be over? I mean, at all? I'm not being negative. I'm just being truthful.
No, I know what you mean.
What's next?
I mean, I don't know. The Last Jedi for me was a big disappointment.
I've learned to accept it. I'll leave it.
Like, it's Star Wars. I'll love it anyway.
Exactly.
But it was just very lazy. It was a very lazy movie. Like, the writing was just so lazy. But it's bringing this whole saga to a close. I mean, all of the main characters that I grew up with, that I know and that I love, they're all dead. So, maybe partly I'm excited for it just to be over and for them to move on. But at the same time, you know what I mean? Let's bring these old characters some justice while we have it, you know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I am very excited for more content. Like you said, Chris, I mean, Mandalorian is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, as soon as I started seeing the trailers for that, it kind of, you know, my interest in that kind of oversaw the episode 9 hype. And then playing this game that fucking, you know, I'm excited for fucking new characters and
So is that game considered canon?
yes.
So I guess you have to. There's only one way to finish it. There's no, like, you know, some games have multiple endings, but I guess it has to have a singular ending, right?
I mean, there's some choices to make throughout the game, but it's mostly all it's all conversation stuff, and it's not much. But I mean, it's pretty linear as far as the storyline goes. It's just a matter of like certain things. I guess you can choose not to do certain things, which it leaves plot stuff out. You know what I mean? Like the whatever the second chapter, I've only done 2 of the 3 objectives that I was supposed to handle.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, and it moved on to chapter 3 from there. You know.
You know, you kind of mentioned something there, JD. Going back to the Mandalorian,
Mhm.
you know, when we watch these other types of shows, especially ones with a longer format, you know, per episode. Like so far, we've got 2 episodes, and they are all centered around the Mandalorian. I think he's like in every scene, right?
Damn near.
Yep. Damn.
So, you know, considering there's only 8 episodes, and if they're going to be this short, I wonder if they will, at least in this first season, like jump around. Like, will we have an episode that like half the episode is given to Apollo Creed or whatever, right? Does he have something that, like, I don't know, or is this all going to be centered on, you know, another day in the life of the Mandalorian, which is where I hope they stay. I think that's kind of interesting.
Like a fishbone story where he's the main
Right.
spine, and every character introduces coming into his path.
Right.
So I've forgotten, like, that Gus Fring from Breaking Bad is in this. I saw some random picture in this, you know, is it Karina, whatever her name is. They haven't introduced that character yet.
No.
So they've got a lot of ground to cover still from a storytelling aspect. I don't know. I love Westerns, and this is the most Western Star Wars gimmick we're going to get. And it's ham-fisted in the fact that it's a Western, but I'm marking out for it anyways. I'm marking out for it, man. I got on my Hulk Hogan shirt with the holes ripped in it, and I'm ready to go, man.
I'm really digging it too. I
mean, it's got me, like, from looking at my Star Wars figures, like, why do I have this shit too? Ooh, I need to buy some more figures. Which I guess is exactly what they wanted me to do. So.
Yeah.
I was going to ask. Oh man, I forget. Shit. Somebody else say something about the Mandalorian. Real quick.
The Mandalorian was fun. The Mandalorian was great.
It's really nice how he speaks so minimally that every time he says something, you know it's important.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's just like a character like
he's Clint Eastwood, you know,
or John Wick even. You know?
Right.
It's very to the point.
Yeah.
Ain't got no time for no jibba jabba.
Well, and it's always like something very poignant to like how his character is. Like whenever he's walking up to the job, where they're riding up to Jawas, and he's like, "You need to drop your gun." He's like, "I'm a Mandalorian. It's against my religion to drop my gun."
Right.
And you get those little tidbits to like how his life really is and how he sees the world just by that one statement.
Well, he sees the world through a very narrow slot.
Right.
That makes no sense.
When he picked up that telescope last episode, you actually saw him struggle. He was like trying to get, like, because he was really trying to look through it. And I was just like, damn, he was really kind of struggle. That was pretty good. I mean, because he could have just acted it, right, and just put it in front of his face, but you could tell he was.
How do you see out of this thing?
Yeah. I really like the fact that no disintegrations. We actually got to see what disintegrations actually were.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, it was kind of crazy. It was like a hydro weapon, you know, kind of thing, just blowing people apart. I thought maybe like he would shoot somebody and they would like melt to the ground in ash or something like that. But
What's that movie that Tom Hanks was in? Not Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise with the End of the World. Like it reminded me of that. Like that laser beam that would come and just dust you, and then you're basically
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds. Yeah, sorry.
Cruise ship. Sounds like a
yeah,
cruise ship coming.
Right, but that whole scene with it just I enjoyed it so much, and then like him running after the fucking crawler and trying to get up it, like it reminded me like there's a video game where I forgot what I think it was
It's called Lego.
It was Super NES too. You're climbing up that Jawa crawler and just fucking getting to the top or to the command center.
was that Shadows of the Empire?
It was in Super NES. I know. I think Super NES.
That was that time frame.
Yeah.
Because I remember in Shadows of the Empire, I think he had to fight IG-88 at one point, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So that's what brought me back when I saw him, like he was climbing up the fucking crawler, and then I'm like, that was a video game where you had to do the same thing and climb up that crawler and dodge stuff being thrown at you, and then they were like villains coming out of hatches that would hit you with a weapon and make you fall down and stuff like that. So
that scene gave me the Indiana Jones feel.
Yeah.
So I also like that because it was Star Wars universe is very convenient. Like things just seem to happen right for the heroes in them, and you have these Jedis who have all these powers and can do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But you see him just struggling to do like crawl up a sand crawler, and it's like it's nice to have that break in this universe to see regular dudes do regular dude stuff, for what he is. And like even the first scene where he's fighting two guys at a bar, they kind of beat him up a bit. Yep. And I like that. I like to see him more humanized. Like, what the other one that we've seen is Boba Fett and Jango Fett in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really, you don't really get those kind of scenes. They're supposed to be like portrayed as like, the most badass there are.
I'm just a simple man making my way in the universe.
Exactly. Maybe that's how all these Mandalorians live. So I'm kind of curious. So who do we have left to see? Like, so we have the chick who's the wrestler, right?
Well, MMA fighter, but yeah.
MMA fighter, right?
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune. We have Bill Burr.
Yep,
right?
I keep forgetting about that. So weird.
Is Bryce Dallas Howard? I know she's involved. She's not in it though, right?
I
She's
thought
like
she
a
was
producer
directing.
or director. Okay.
I thought she was directing.
So the blind girl's directing.
Yeah.
Pick a medium, ma'am.
I
drug her out of the woods for that one.
I think IG-11 comes back somehow, some way.
So let's
I hope I didn't pre-order the Hot Toys for a fucking 20-second appearance.
So from a speculation standpoint, like, what do you see happening next? So Dom, that's a good one. Did the Jawas put them together, you think?
I don't know. Like that would be a good one to see I was just like, when I saw that first episode, I thought he was going to repair him back, and I don't, and then obviously that didn't happen. So it's going to be interesting in who repairs him or how he comes back, because I've seen trailers where sneak peeks of the show where he's in other scenes. So
okay,
other than the first scene that we saw with him just kicking ass. So.
Yeah. Because we did see him leave that planet at the end of this second one, right?
Yeah.
He took off. What about, so obviously the Yoda baby, right?
Yeah.
That's just to sell merchandise. That's all that is.
I'm more on the storyline that they need him. The guy who sent the Mandalorian to go get him, I think he's more the doctor wants him for cloning.
So I will say what intrigues me most about this, it's kind of a role reversal. So it's like, the rebels were hiding out from the Empire, and now the Empire's hiding out from the rebels. And I've said this before. I was like, I got a super boner about the weathering on the stormtroopers to the point where it woke me up at 3 a.m. and I had to come down here and fucking grab a clean trooper, and he ain't clean no more. Yeah, that woke me up at 3. I'm like, oh, got to go do this. It's fucked up, but I'm super interested in what they're up to.
Yeah,
super interesting.
and obviously, as we know, there's more bounty hunters coming after him, and
Yeah,
he's
well,
running
and
into
it's a
those
different. I
individuals.
think it's a different bounty though, because he said
exactly.
you were gonna take him in alive, and
Yeah, and IG-11 was looking for him to kill him. So it's obviously somebody out there wants him dead, and somebody obviously the guy that hired the Mandalorian wants him alive. So, but it's going to be. I don't think he's going to have any ties. I don't feel like that Baby Yoda is going to have any ties to the past, anything to the past. Or
No.
anything. So I think,
Yeah, they gotta let the past die.
Yeah, I think so.
it all depends on how your manners are
So
and how
so
big
this,
your pocketbook is.
so this doctor dude, Josh mentioned, that he's got a Kaminoan cloner's patch on his
Yes,
shoulder.
he
Yeah,
does.
So he
It's,
must have a deep
cloning.
But so does he want to clone the Yoda, or was the Yoda already a clone that he lost?
But
Or
ask the question:
what do you think?
if he was already a clone that they lost, why would they want him back? Like that? That'd be just
They
try to
wanna-
kill him.
They want to clone him, and but here's
Well,
I
maybe
say that, but why would he say? I understand bounty hunting is a complicated profession, and you might end up having to kill a motherfucker, but I need proof. I mean, what's the proof? You need to. They would want some DNA of this creature, right? So I don't know. I'm a little off
we don't
on that.
know. Like, obviously, he's taking a liking into his bounty that he's collected, but I think we don't know whether he's going to make that betrayal yet. So we don't know whether he's going. Is he going to find out what they're up to and then betray them? Because he right now, to me, I feel like he's still trying. He's still going to give him in. Like, he's still going to bring him the Baby Yoda to the guy, and I think maybe along that path he finds out what he's carrying and what's the significance of is, and maybe betray him at that point. I don't know, but
like, what if he's a clone of Yoda? Like, wouldn't that be wild shit? Or what if Yoda was a fucking clone? I mean, I don't know. It's crazy. It's wild stuff.
They used the Baby Yoda to clone Rey.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, it's getting deep in here now, boy. It's getting deep.
But we all the question was at the end of the first episode, like the chapter, was that whether he was force sensitive, and obviously we got that answer in the second.
Mhm.
So, which was pretty cool how they did it, because
he was like E.T. Remember
Yeah,
when he had his cut on his arm?
Yeah, he
I
was
was gonna be
coming
like,
up.
ouch. I was so waiting for that.
Ouch.
And he just he thought he's like getting, he picked him up, put him back in the
Hit
cage.
it like 3 times.
I enjoy those little things, and then just how he the last battle with was that the same animal that they was in episode 3, where episode 2, I mean, when they go into the arena, the bull that was there, is
Yeah.
that the same kind of species?
I believe it's the same thing. Did he have horns though?
He had one horn.
That thing had 2 horns on the side of his head and 1 on the top.
Right.
Yeah. So it
Maybe
kind of
this
brought
was
me
the
back.
Maybe it
now.
was a female because they
something like
went
that,
in for eggs. He went in for the egg.
But I enjoyed the whole thing, and the where the guy was just basically tells that the Jawas don't break, they just disassemble. They just everything that they take, they don't. It's not like it's the Mandalorian's like, oh fuck, they broke my plane.
Oh, they destroyed it. Yeah.
They destroyed it. And he's like, no, they don't destroy. They just they just steal. You can put it all back together. But
I rob. Yeah, I steal.
So it's good. Like, I'm enjoying every aspect as much. I know a lot of people are find other parts corny and what they were doing in the second one, but I just enjoyed it. Like, I took it for what it is, and I enjoyed a lot of the little corninesses that they brought with the Jawas and stuff like that. So it made me laugh.
Yeah.
So
how long after Return of the Jedi does this take place again?
5 years, but who
5
knows?
years.
Who really knows how long a year
5
is?
years.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. What son are you talking about? How many? Who knows?
Yeah.
Supposedly, 5 years. But it's going to be interesting. I'm assuming that there's going to be other people after this thing, and those are the characters that we're going to run into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who knows where it happens next? But we're just 3 days away. So
Yes.
it's almost Friday. It's almost Mandalorian Day again.
It's almost time for the Mandalorian.
Now, do they
Final-
drop? Do they drop at midnight, or do they drop like at 3 o'clock
6
in the
a.m.
morning? 6 a.m.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
that's
were.
right.
Yeah.
You dropped out.
You
You're
dropped out when we were
correct.
talking
Yeah.
about
Hey, did we just talk about this?
I'm sorry.
deja vu.
So strange.
But who was it? Somebody in the chat. Mark 44 Prime said that he was watching it on his phone at whatever it was after midnight, like right after midnight.
On Thursday.
Yeah.
So I noticed some interesting things on Disney Plus when it comes to mobile toward other things. Like for instance, Endgame special features, right? They have the extras.
hmm
EE Prime 20 was telling me he's like they have like 17. And when I was watching it here on my computer, I was scrolling over. I was like, there's only like 7 things here. When I pick it up on my phone, there's a whole bunch more extra content that you can go through on that tab. So I don't know if it's a glitch in the system or if they're only letting certain things go on mobile versus something else. I don't know. I thought it's kind of strange.
I'm seeing people trying to put it up on YouTube, and it's getting brought down real quick.
Oh,
yeah.
on a lot of
Why
of
is
those
it for
extras
kids
that-
or something?
I guess so.
Oh, yeah, they're flagging it wrong, and so you know how that is. You don't quite have your shit together.
But overall, you guys enjoy it? I guess I'm sure this is a yes for everybody, but for Mandalorian, everybody's enjoying it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
gotcha.
Oh yeah.
Gives me a reason to get up in the morning.
So, like, as a Star Wars casual person, it makes me think like you know how the Beskar was such a big deal in the first episode.
Who?
He was getting the Beskar medal and he was getting his pauldron made.
Yeah.
Do you think that Jango Fett and Boba Fett's armor was real?
Yes. Yes.
Or do you think they had, like-
Jango Fett stole it from. I was always under the impression that he stole it from a Mandalorian.
So he
Really?
was
Or
truly a
got
Mandalorian?
it from a Mandalorian. No, Jango was not a true Mandalorian.
That means Boba
Is
wasn't
this
a
canon?
Mandalorian.
No.
But Boba had the sigil thing on his things.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah,
the
no.
4
He's
horsemen
got the
emblem.
mythosaur, and then he has
Mythosaur, yeah.
his house emblem.
They fucked it up. They fucked it up with their
Yeah.
canon, not canon shit now. See, now it doesn't
Yeah,
make
I
any
was so-
goddamn sense.
Another thing you could look at is like watching the Clone Wars and the way the Mandalorians look in. I mean, they're all like straight out of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Blonde hair, blue eyes. And then in the show, or like in the Mandalorian, if Jango was a Mandalorian, you know what I mean?
Well, he could have been a foundling, though, right? Like how Mandalorian was in the show, like where he was just a kid that they found and taught the ways of the Mandalorian.
Could.
You could. Yeah.
So, like, what I was thinking whenever I was watching this was like the Mandalorian is that guy in the Catholic Church that's there 2 times a week, running the food drive and doing everything he can for it. And like Jango and Boba are the guys that are there like Easter and Christmas. Like they're kind of Mandalorians, but they're not. They're just hedging their bets because they know if they wear this armor that people are intimidated. But they're not really into the whole religion that they have or lifestyle that the Mandalorians have. That's kind of the way I saw it as the few times I've watched Star Wars and seeing the Mandalorian.
The thing is that they really don't really go into the Mandalorian background in the movies. Like when you get introduced to Boba Fett, you don't even know that that's kind of a Mandalorian armor. Like that it was just just a character that they had, and then eventually the Mandalorian was pretty much from my understanding was like the Clone Wars is what really brought up the Mandalorian, the stories of the Mandalorian. And what they were, the armor itself, and when we got introduced to Jango in episode 2, it was we knew he had the Mandalorian armor because of Clone Wars and stuff like that.
So here's some information off I'm sure very trustful StarWars.fandom.com/wiki/Jango_Fett/legends. that says a human from Concord Dawn, Fett was adopted by Mandalorian warriors following the murder of his parents and the disappearance of his older sister Arya in 58 BBY. So he was adopted. And that's funny. I didn't know that, but
That's Legends though.
yeah.
Legends is
gone.
Yeah, I know, but it could be your canon.
But that would make sense, right? Because like not only did he steal
It
the
would.
armor, but we saw him in episode 2, man. He knows how to use that shit. I mean, I don't know.
I was when I was listening to any like current stuff and anything that people talk about Django, he's not like they were saying that he's not a Mandalorian.
Night of Ren's so chucksually today. He's like,
hey,
dropping
guess
it
what,
all.
Knight of Ren? I know what that means. I saw Star Wars before you were born. But thank you for clarifying that BBY is not a droid, but it's the battle before the Battle of Yavin, also commonly referred to as Episode 4, the one that didn't have a number at first.
Correct.
So does this Mandalorian give you guys faith in what they're going to bring out for the Marvel stuff as well as the additional Star Wars stuff?
I think so.
I don't know. I like you're saying you think the TV series that they're going to do for Marvel in regards to what they're doing with Mandalorian is going to be successful?
I'm just saying the quality of the work we're getting.
Gotcha.
I'll just say that, dude. Is that reassuring at all that, Falcon and Bucky and Falcon or whatever they're calling it, Captain America and the other Captain America?
Yeah.
Guy with the iron arm.
Dudes who either have been or will be Captain America. But not
Chris,
Steve Rogers. That's the name of the show.
From a quality perspective, quality of program, I would say yes, but I don't know about the quality of character. I mean, I guess I'm kind of interested in Bucky and Falcon. I guess they could give them an interesting story, but I mean, they were super side piece. I mean, Alex knows what that's like.
Nobody wants to hear a background story about me.
I mean, I loved the Winter Soldier comic book. I loved it.
Okay.
It was one of my favorite books whenever Ed Brubaker was writing it.
Yeah, I'm super cash when it comes to that. So
right. So like if they follow that stuff, then that would be awesome. But you know how the Marvel Cinematic Universe has been all over the place. Like some of the stuff from comics they bring over, some stuff they leave out. It's
a guideline. It's a guideline.
Don't put logic in an illogical situation. That's like asking, why does Jim Cornette carry a tennis racket to the ring? It doesn't need to make sense. He just needs to hit people with something.
So I'm okay with him like doing a spin on it, but like it's never the quality that I worry about with Disney. It's the content that they put out, like whether it's going to mean something to me after I watch it, because it's always going to look great and it's going to be fun, but is it going to be meaningful?
Right.
I have another Mandalorian question. After the spectacles that we had of computer graphics in the prequel and pretty much backing almost completely away from that, do you guys enjoy the Mandalorian is pretty much mostly practical effects aside from things that are impossible to be practical, like speeders and whatnot, but like the I've spoken dude that's all practical effects? You guys dig that? Or you like
I appreciate that a lot more. It takes it back to the original trilogy, you know what I mean? It's
I even think there's some charm to the fact that his mouth doesn't really line up with the shit.
Yeah.
I have spoken.
Yeah.
Well, clunky.
I like it. It gives people that, have that knowledge of that sort of artistry, like it puts them back in the seat,
Right.
It's the same thing that the Dark Crystal did, the series.
Yeah.
Puppeteers actually have a job,
right. I mean, that's like a Renaissance art.
Yes.
Almost, like making dioramas without a machine. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding.
Well, like, whenever I talk to JD or you, Chris, about dioramas, like the weight of things, like things that'll have a weight to them.
Right.
Like it just, I feel like the practical effects add that. And mixing the two gives it a more realistic feel than doing one or the other. by itself.
I think you're right, but there's also that's a razor's edge that you have to be able to pull off.
Right.
And I think they're doing it in this with the mixture.
Yeah, and even with that character, just it's like you can take that character and not make him memorable, but then what they did with him and how with every little sentence or like line that he had, they made it worth it. Like they made it built a story, you learned a little bit about him. You understand him, and then when like Mandalorian was trying to hire him or like give him, join his crew and stuff like that, he denied it because he didn't want to be in any type of servitude or servant. He wanted to just leave his right life in peace and farm his land, which was like, to me, like I can see them take a character like that and make it a forgettable character. Who gives you shit, like at the end of the day? But they spent the time and gave him some lines to where it made him rememberable in regards to the fact that this is a character that we introduced and we want you to remember him.
Yo, see, that dude has a hidden agenda they haven't really talked about, but he's like, yo, I'm just out here trying to grow these space poppies. Y'all get the fuck out of here. Get that goddamn Yoda baby off this planet. I don't need them motherfuckers here. I got a good thing going with Crimson Dawn.
I got some, what's the fire sticks? I got what's the death sticks. I got some death sticks thrown up.
No, he's like, I got them death sticks and I got them Cody sticks. I got them fire sticks that are hooked up. You don't need no goddamn Disney Plus. I got that fire on the fire stick.
Whenever Brian says that, like the Marvel movies that you need to watch are the Captain America ones to get the whole story.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian character and the Captain America character both do that. Like, since they don't say a lot, the other characters in the show get to shine a little bit more. Because they're not trying to put in a joke. They're not trying to steal the spotlight. They're there to enable the other cast members to have their time too. Right. And I think that's one of the biggest strengths of having the Mandalorian be the main character but have so little to say.
It's a lot of walking, a lot of cape swinging, a lot of how the fuck does he ever forget that he's got that fucking thing on his back when he sits down? I mean, I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Every time he takes it off,
practicality of it. And it's like it's a gun, but it's multi-purpose. It's like a Swiss Army knife of disintegration. No, the pistol's the disintegration one, right?
Yeah, I mean, had he used it for range finding as well? I think at one point.
Yep.
Yeah, he used it as
Swiss Mandalorian knife.
He used it as electric baton. He stunned the fucking earthworm that came up and grabbed his fucking thing.
The space walrus.
Yeah.
So
Space Walrus.
Very, very cool stuff. I'm really looking forward to Friday.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I want to see where to go next, and basically it's because right now he's off the planet, and we don't know, whether obviously he's going back to the planet where he got the bounty, but
we'll see. Oh yeah, that planet. I do have one little gripe. It was in episode 1 of it. I think the guy who gave him the bounty from the underground Imperial bunker thing. What someone said to him is like, "Oh, why did it come to me? Or why'd you ask for me?" And he said, "Because I heard you're the best in the parsec."
Mm-hmm.
Now, parsec is like a measure of distance, like a mile. So you wouldn't go. Someone's like, "Oh, you're the best in the mile." Like maybe you're the best for a mile around or something like that.
Maybe.
Like a parsec isn't like, it's not like a parsec is not representative of like a town or a city. Like you're the best in the city. I don't know.
Let's see.
That really just it hit a nerve with me. That's all.
Your poor brain, Brian. Your poor brain.
I paused it for a second. I was like, God,
parsec.
This is wrong,
motherfucker.
Stupid.
Wait. Are they using British parsec? Oh,
parsec is a unit.
I have to do the conversions.
Distance equal to about 3.26 light years.
Yeah. So
it's like 3 light years. He's the best in 3 light years.
Glad you cleared that up, because I thought he said parsley, and I was like, what does parsley have to do with this?
Now, if he had said best in the sector, if he had best in the sector or something, that would have been good. But
quadrant, the best in the quadrant.
Yeah. Josh Fisher says maybe space is broken up into parsecs, but then it's like, well, how could you do the Kessel run in so many parsecs?
Listen,
you know?
Josh, it's like this. Okay, sometimes when you get a thin crust pizza, it's cut into pizza shapes, right? But then sometimes they cut it in
Triangles.
squares. So it's like if it's all that at the same time, that's a parsec. But it's got to be pepperoni because each pepperoni is a planet. See, so if you get like a pizza with the little pepperonis that curl up, which are my favorite.
Wait, does each pepperoni have its own gravitational force? Because
It
I just
does.
want to know what
does.
pepperoni I'm going to get pulled into.
Yeah. Yeah, the schnozberries taste like schnozberries.
All right, guys. So we're time here. We were maybe gonna have another topic, which I'm kind of glad we didn't get to, but we were going to talk about the Copa and the FTC
Copacabana?
At
YouTube.
the Copa.
But
Copacabana.
I don't even know what this is about.
so JD, basically the rules of YouTube is YouTube got in trouble for tracking data on kids, and through a whole bunch of crazy things they did with the government and how they decided to not get fined again, they're basically putting the onus on content creators and they're responsible. But
Yes.
let's not get into that now. But basically, I will say I watched obviously the YouTube reviewers, especially for kid content related stuff, toys, the stuff we're interested in.
Collectibles, damn it.
I listened to
quit saying the T word. Bring
yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay, that's in trouble.
action figure.
Action items.
Collectibles. Action items. Hey, that's on my PowerPoint. Do you like bullet points or numbers? No, actually.
I like letters with parentheses.
Oh, that's awful.
So anyway, I just want to say I watched 4, and they all pretty much had the thing down pat as far as what you needed to know. They all just told it in their own kind of way. So I watched Pixel Dan, I watched Robo from the Foosh, and I watched MGO specifically because if anyone is targeted at kids, it's his stuff, right?
Whoa!
Well,
and then also,
ahead,
this morning I watched Anthony's Customs, which seemed the most down to earth, and it didn't have as much hyperbole as the other one. So that one, was
that was
really,
the one
really good.
Bobby referenced his. I haven't watched. I tried to watch a couple of them, but it ends up just being the wah. I was like, Charlie Brown's parents are fucking arguing about paying the goddamn mortgage or going on vacation. But that's what that noise is.
But Anthony's Customs one was really kind of very sincere and just in your face. He wasn't holding anything back. He's like, yeah, of course I'm doing it for the money, right? Money's a big part of this. But also he was dropping facts on basically how these changes in YouTube kind of they're counter to what they're trying to accomplish by if you're not flagging something for kids, then then no one's gonna find it or something like that. But anyway, watch those. I know the next episode of Nerd Rage that comes out in 2 days, they talk about it.
No,
we
don't.
And
I don't have a time machine anymore, Brian.
And I know Josh Fisher from MPSP Theater this Friday, they're going to go into it pretty deep. So I'm looking forward to the converization those guys have. And
are there going to be graphs?
and Josh has a little bit of insight to the categorization of content as well, due to some acquaintances of his. So I'm really looking forward to see what he digs up for that conversation too. So
I just love it how YouTube, like, I guess somebody has to answer me this question. When you created YouTube, before this whole debacle happened, when you created a YouTube account or a Google account, you had to be over 13 and over, right?
Yeah,
right.
You don't even need an account.
Yeah, but you're using your parent's account.
Yeah, and you don't. I watch YouTube without even logging in sometimes, so you don't even need an account.
You're killing the algorithm.
This is true. This is true.
But basically, I would like to have a discussion on this in the future on what it means for us on, how we get our information and who we like to watch and who we're going to miss and stuff like that. So stay tuned.
This is what we do here.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all pretty clear that this is not about the money.
Oh yeah, for us, for sure.
But it's hard to split a nickel 28 ways.
Yep.
It's long division.
Yeah, talk about your long division.
Long.
The number outside is bigger than the number.
Excuse me, my dividend was off by 0.000000007 cents. Alex, sorry, you don't get dividend.
Hey, so let's see what else is going on here on our Realm of Collectors channel. So let's take a little gander at this. So you know what's funny? I can see all you guys at the bottom of my screen. I don't see anybody bopping their head when that goes on.
Dude, I was drumming. What are you
Oh,
talking
okay.
about? I was like,
Alex looked dead, man. He was just maybe that.
Alex
pole
actually-
got you.
actually, Alex is dead. I know he really gets exhausted all day posing for the Four Horsemen to do their dwarves.
Get dividends off that either.
So he's just exhausted constantly. So anytime he can close his eyes, he does.
You get carbon freezed. They pull
You're
them
not-
out and they
you're
don't
not
break
gonna-
the mold on that.
You're not gonna make, so to speak. You're not gonna make it home for Life Day, Alex. Sorry,
No, sorry.
probably not.
All right, so let's go around the yard and
Hey,
everybody tell you where they can find you.
man, that's like half my thing. Okay. You know how many weeks it took me to figure that out?
You're
That's
my
fine.
spirit dragon, Chris. What can
How
I
about
say?
not going around the yard? How about going around the parsec?
Around the parsec? Let's go around the parsec. The man who saves many Wookiees. Where can they find you?
Well, I'm on my way back to Kashyyyk, Tarful. But yeah, you can find me every Tuesday here with some random people.
Yeah, it seems.
You know, Wednesday tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we got a new figure banging.
Is that going to be a very busy amount of things to be looked at the same time tomorrow night?
No,
Maybe 15 things?
I don't
No.
think
Damn
so.
it. Fuck. Okay. I was looking forward to that.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to petition for that right now. I have a direct line to the director. Said,
Do it.
okay.
And you can find me JD Brocious on Facebook, Pigment Surgery on Instagram and Xbox Live, and Shelf Gravy on Facebook and Instagram.
The gravy's so thick.
Covering them shelves.
It's not
Alex,
sauce, Mom. It's gravy.
where can I find you?
What's
You
on your
found me.
socks?
Collecticon on Instagram.
And that's where I found you. I wish you'd stayed there.
Alex Riggs on Facebook. That's pretty much all I'm on here. Whenever I either beg to come on or they can't find anybody else.
He's our Mandalorian side piece.
Mhm.
Dude, can you change the name of the episode?
Mandalorian side piece? Sure.
Yes. It might get hits just because you put that in the title.
I wonder if I can do that right now.
Bow, bow, bow. I don't think
Oh,
you
I can. Check it out.
Nice.
Nice.
Mandalorian side piece fighting people in the desert.
How do you spell Mandalorian? Is it two?
Dude, I've
A's?
been struggling with that my entire life.
Mandalorian.
I still haven't taught my phone how to fucking spell it.
My phone figured it out just last week.
Oh, man.
An error occurred. Wait a moment and try again. Maybe you can't do it while you're live. I don't know. We'll see.
Disney will crush it if we put Mandalorian in there.
Dom.
You can find me in the groups Dominic Grasso and here Tuesday nights with you guys.
All right. Salvage Dragoon.
Hey, look, he's zoom in on me. He's right here. The Salvage Dragoon is hanging out on my. See, he's right here.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, can you smell what the dragoon's cooking? This is how I'm gonna get around the copyright issues. I'm gonna put out the comic of the Rock playing the Salvage Dragoon. I think that'd be funny. Hey, Crashbox Customs on all your social media. Actually, I'm gonna be doing some shit I can show people soon.
Woohoo.
So I'm excited about that.
Embargo's gone.
I'm actually going to be able to show a project that I'm doing, like as I'm doing it, because it seems like everything I've done lately, it's like, look what I did. I've been working on it forever and can't show you. But anyways, I'm on Monday nights on Into the Realm. If you don't know that, I am on Nerd Rage Radio, which comes out Thursday. If you're a peasant, just kidding. Patreon's only $1, and you get it the day we record, which is like 4 days early lately. And Christopher Pinkerton on Facebook. My personal Instagram's trash, so we don't even talk about that. I will say last night Tyler had the line of the night, and he said, "Don't find me." That was pretty awesome.
Nice.
But thanks for having me, guys. This is always a fun show. Are you guys doing a show next week? Or are you taking the week off for the whole lady?
You know what?
Or
I think
because I know
I
Enter the
think no.
Realm won't be on. Okay.
I think not.
Yeah.
I think not.
Because it's Tuesday, right? Yeah. Tuesday is going to be like a traveling day for a lot of people.
Oh, and yeah, I'll be with Mike Wells and his wife. They will be here.
Oh, are they coming
Road
up?
Warrior will be here visiting.
Are they coming for the holiday?
Or
just
they will be
coincidence?
here Monday and Tuesday, and then they're spending the rest of the holiday with some friends of theirs that are about an hour away.
Well, that's awesome that they're coming there. Is she going to get a run? Does she get a run in while she's here? Because Mike's wife likes to do the marathons. Different places.
Well, they're going to come either Sunday night or Monday early, and then we're hanging out all day, and then they're crashing here, and then whenever we decide to go into the shop, they both want to get their first tattoos.
That is awesome, and it's so cool how small our world is, but it's not, and it's all because we're nerds talking about toys and the internet that we have all these friends.
Dude, Mike's getting a mythic tattoo, isn't he? He's so in on that.
Oh, he is.
Something out of D&D, yep.
Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Truth be told, he talked to me about D&D before he ever got into Mythic Legions, but I knew it was going to be a good fit. By the way, he's doing some pretty fucking awesome custom work for somebody that's taking his first stab at it. I'm really impressed. Really impressed.
All right, cool. You can find me, Brian Brink, in the Facebook groups.
Hey, Brian, where you at?
On Instagram. And we're out as soon as I find that exit.
Deuces!
Bye.
Say it with me now. Really?